one section of the first day of school book that we're going to be putting together at the October Coffee and Crafts. So this is the one that I made up. This is what kind of started me off. And I had picked up this boys kit. Oh, I couldn't tell you how many years ago, but don't ask. And so I thought, well, I'll make up this little album for my grandson. And I love the whole book so much that I'm going to use this to create my first day of school album at the October crop event. So I've started by cutting out, so this is the piece, right? And it unfolds. So it's a 4-fold card. And I've used the brads so that you can close that up. Right? Just put a bit of ribbon on it. Okay, so I'm going to get started. I'll bring that back later and show you. I'm using from Echo Park their first day of school collection kit. It comes with all of those really awesome papers, and it has a sticker sheet that you can use for decorating and to make tags. And it's got these awesome cards, right? So these ones are, well, if there's 9 of them, they have to be 4 by 4, right? Math works because it's a 12 by 12 sheet. And the colors are really neutral enough that you can use it for anybody. Okay, and then on the back you have a pattern, and then these ones are 4 by 6s. I love this one. We're all like a box of crayons. Each one of us is unique, but when we get together, the picture is complete. So there's that one, and then that one's got the ruled line. So if you wanted to do some journaling or have your little one put their thoughts down, that would be a great place. And then these ones are sort of a mix of sizes. And then these ones are 3 by 4. So there's a good variety of the cards, and then that one's got the stripes on the back that you can use to decorate any of this. I will be using those later in the book. Okay, so I'll move that out of the way and I'll get started. I've cut out the pieces. I'm just going to put them together here. So I've started with a black base, and this is to fit my album. So it's based on a 6 by 6, and that's the back panel. And then you have the first fold out, and that one's made. I wrote it down so I would remember, and then I lost my list, right? So this one, the next section is 5 1/4 by 5, and you score it on your quarter line, and you can either glue it or tape it, whatever works for you. I'm a fan of tape on the edges. I've been using the liquid glue more and more often. Yay me. So I'm just going to put the tape down on these fold lines because that's the beginning of the assembly. Right? Once you have your panels put together, then it's just decorating, and that's the fun part. Okay, so there, just using my scrappy tack score tape, get my picky sticky. They have a proper name, but you know, it's picky at one end, sticky at the other. What can I tell you? And I don't know about you, I keep a little bowl or a little tray handy to put all the bits in, because otherwise I just fling them. Okay, so here we go. Step 1, you're going to put your fold underneath. Now these are all going to get covered up, so you won't actually see them, which is really nice. I like to take it, make sure that I have it evened up. And then there, and that one. Okay, so there's your first one. And now this one you want to go on this edge. I suppose you could do a larger piece and then just trim that one in the middle. The idea is you get as you go on, right? They say if you're not learning, there. Okay, so there's your 4-fold base card. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the section that's going to be attached to the booklet. If you wanted, you could leave this as a standalone card. Just change the measurements. Okay, so now the fun part, I'm going to decorate. I'll start with my back panel. Because this is two-sided, you have, you can mix and match it. And if you wanted to add in a third pattern, you absolutely could. I did on my other one. Although, truth be told, I think I did that because I had run out of one of the patterns that I was using. I didn't realize how little I had left. Shh, don't tell anybody. Nobody does that, right? Okay, so I'm going to attach this to the back panel. And then that's essentially the back panel done. If you wanted to, you could put a plain piece over that, or you could put some journaling in there, however you wanted to finish that up. But I'm going to put that just in there. Okay, so that's that piece. And then for this next two, these are going to be pockets. So I'm going to put tape around the 3 edges on the pocket. Let's move that up there so you can see what I'm doing. And I've switched to a thinner tape. You can use glue again if you want to. And I'm only doing the 3 sides because I want to be able to tuck something in there, right? An award or a picture or something that was special from school that would fit in the album. And to make the little tab bit, I just used my envelope punch and pressed that out. Now if you have a little another kind of a punch, that would work, or you could just do a half circle, works really well in there as well. Okay, and I'm going to do these ones with the rainbow side up. So I'm just sort of alternating the rainbow and the orange grid pattern here for no particular reason. Okay, so get those on, and I find I keep track better when I do them at the same time. Now if you wanted to do opposite, one on and one, that's just up to you. And if you wanted to do a different pattern on every page, when you have a collection, all the colors match, right? They coordinate, so you can use any of the patterns because they go together. Okay, so that's that. We'll get my picky sticky going again here. I was watching a YouTube video the other day, and it was from the UK, and I had to laugh, a little giggle, because she was doing something with embossing powders or glitter, I forget which, but she said she had to do some hoovering later. And that's such a British term for doing your vacuuming, isn't it? Some of you probably remember that if your parents were British. So Okay, so there's those two, and I'm going to attach those onto my panels here. And just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to have the rainbows going the right way up. Who knew? Okay, and then do the other one here. And now I'm going to add on my pockets. I only take the back release paper off the back of the ones that I'm using. Otherwise I ended up with them stuck together. I know, I'm special. Okay, so there's pocket number 1. And you can add, you know, decorations to these pages however you like. You can grab those cards, you can grab the stickers, and they'd just be fabulous. Okay, so there's 1 and 2. And now I'm going to do this front piece. So I have the red to go on the back, and I'm going to put the rainbows on there. And before I get them finished, before I put the rainbows on the top, I'm going to attach the 2 red squares, and I'm going to poke it through so that I can put my brad in. Okay, so let's get that on there. So there's that one. Okay, so put this one on the top. And I've just decided I'm going to get another pattern because I don't want all the rainbows all in one spot. Okay, so I'm going to put that one on like that. Never mind, I'll do it. Okay, so I'm going to put the rainbow on this one. And then I'm going to put the brad through and finish the other side, so then you're not going to see the pins from the brad. That was my whole point. That's where I was going with that right from the beginning. Okay. So now I'll take my pokey sticky and make my opening for my brad, and just whatever you have. I mean, if you don't have a brad, you can just thread the ribbon through. Okay, so there's my brad. Isn't that fancy? And I have some red ribbon. And as thick or as wide, you know, thin as you want it. And that's just what I have, right? I tend to use what's here. I try to minimize how much more I buy. Okay, so I'm going to stick the end of the ribbon under there, right over the hole, and then I'm going to poke that through the ribbon. And if my fingers work, we'll get this in here. And the pins have split a bit, so it's going to take me a second. There we go. And there's your brad on there. Okay, and that's for your ribbon closure. Okay, one last thing. I'm going to give just a bit of Scotch tape on this side over those, and it helps to keep them from poking through. Okay, so now on this side, I'll put down my red. Build that on there. And add on my final panel. Okay, there we go. All right. All right. So now on the back panel, I'm going to put my other brad. Okay. Okay, and my other bit of ribbon. So again, I'll just lift this a little bit to tuck the ribbon underneath. Put it underneath because this is going to get attached to the book. Now, if you're doing this as a card, you want to stick your ribbon in between, right? There. Okay, so now I can see it a little bit more easily. And you can too. And I'm just going to give that a little poke with my sticky pokey. Pokey sticky. And they're going to line up. Good. Open that out. And then I'm going to come back with my tape. There. And that is ready to either decorate, to add your things to your pockets, and to put into your album. Again, if you wanted to leave this just as a card, you absolutely could, but I would finish off the back of that a little differently. And there you have it, a 4-fold pocket for your first day of school. I hope you've enjoyed Coffee and Crafts this morning. I've had fun putting it together. Just remember, we have lots of classes going on all the time. They're first and third Wednesdays and second and fourth Thursdays. We have lots of new stuff coming into the store. So it will really be great to see you. I hope you have a super day. Thanks for joining me on Coffee and Crafts. Bye.